It's Babbling Brook's 2-month anniversary today. Yay! Thank you to everybody who has ridden along with us from day one, and any and everybody else who hopped on along the road. Hold on tight. And please share this show. Let's get big and let's conquer the world. I laugh because this coming up episode is the opposite of conquering the world. But I thought, what better way to start another month, but with opening up about my chronic illness diagnosis. I won't spoil the episode, and I want us to go straight into it. Please join us on social media at Babbling Brook Podcast. We have a Facebook group and an Instagram page. And if you want to follow me directly on my personal social media, it's at Babala Brook. The blog is babalabrook.com, and the YouTube is at Babala Brook. We also have a Patreon if you'd like to support the show that way. It's the same name, Babbling Brook Podcast. And my stores are Trucker Brook, My Brook, The Brook, as in THE, and The Lovely Brook. They're all on eBay, and we sell new and used men, female, kids, clothing, shoes, that kind of thing. Thank you. Please, I would like to hear back from you and give us a 5-star rating, please, and thank you. Let me leave you be. Cheers. Hello. I hope you can hear me. My name is Babala Brook. I'm your favorite. The time is 14:47, which is 2 hours and 47 minutes in the afternoon of Wednesday, March the 15th. Oh, I just realized somebody I know and I have been talking to today got paid today. It's payday for some of the, I think for the government employees in South Africa, all across. Guys, today I just want to, I really would like to be hanging out with a friend, a loved one, a partner, a dog, a cat, a lizard, or anything right now. Actually, I'm probably not alone. I'm in the California desert, and there are a lot of bugs here. Anyway, I recently posted, if you follow me on YouTube, actually I just recently did a video. I haven't been posting anything. I'm not super motivated to do much of the things that I actually enjoy. But the point of today's post is my recent diagnosis exactly a week ago of hypothyroidism. That's where the thyroid underperforms or is slow. I'm sorry for the ghost flashing that you may be hearing in the background. I try to fix it, but obviously it's still going on. I was diagnosed when I checked, and then they gave me copies of my bloods, and my THS was higher than what the average is. That's the only thing that I noticed to be off when I went over, because the results, everything that they tested, I asked them to test everything, and I hope that they did, because I don't know what everything is. I don't know what it entails. excuse me, I promise you, I don't have a frog in my throat. It's just part of the things that I've been going through recently. By recently, I mean all my life. As far as the results of the paperwork that they showed me, it shows you the range that's normal, quote unquote, and then it shows you your results. So then, of course, you can compare. So THS, I don't know what it stands for. I don't know if there's thyroid in there somewhere. I don't know. But that's the only thing that was off, as far as I'm concerned. And they put me on medication. I'll tell you some other time, maybe not, what the medication is. But it's for thyroid, obviously. And I have to go back in 6 weeks, which reminds me, not really, that I have to call the hospital, the doctor, and make an appointment because I couldn't that day. I couldn't decide 6 weeks from when I was with them was going to be around my birthday, which is April 10th. And I have, I have another appointment then. I also have 4 other appointments that I need to schedule and one other thing that's in the mail coming to me for me to send them a stool sample. Yeah, you heard right. Apparently around my age group, it's prevalent for people to get colon cancer. And it's either a money-making gimmick. I hate to sound like some, tinfoil conspiracy theorist type person, but it's either that or they really have to have a look at my poop, I guess. I'd rather they didn't. I'm just not interested in that whole thing. I've already done it, and they rejected my stool. I mean, I hate that I'm even talking about this. So now I gotta poop in a bucket again and have somebody come here and hand it over. Just imagine the thought if you've never done this, and if you have, let me know how it went for you. But it was not something that I enjoyed, handing over a thing of poop to a strange man dressed in brown. UPS. But I'm almost glad that it wasn't my regular USPS person who does my shop packages. My shop, if you haven't checked, if you don't know about it, it's the Lovely Brook, both on eBay and Facebook. I recommend eBay because if you're not in the country, I do international shipping there, and it's much more smoother, even though there are more charges, but they don't charge you more. I'm the one who gets less money because I keep the prices good on both things. I guess, yeah, it's probably better for, I don't know, who cares? I'm sorry that I'm not super upbeat or whatever. I am in bed right now, even though I told you what time it was. I've been in bed for probably a couple of hours already, with the heater on, socks, robe. One of the symptoms was my cold feet, which I'm not somebody who suffers from cold feet. And another one was fatigue. And when I tell you, that was, for me personally, you know what, I want to say it was one or the other, but they all hit in major ways, because right now I just feel really down, and this is how I would feel like before my period, as you know. Then I would come and talk here. Probably that's when I would do a lot of my recordings, because I I feel alone. I feel like I need company, and then I would just vent and do a recording, I guess. But apparently one of the symptoms is depression. And apparently one of the symptoms, I say apparently because I'm still learning, is, and also it hits everybody differently. So I guess if you have hypothyroidism and you're a guy, may not, impact you with regards to periods, obviously, right? I just thought of something now. I wonder how any of this applies to people who've transgendered from female to male. When it comes to things like PMS, I know that, and I excuse my ignorance, I know that there's hormones that you would take to do the conversion, but I'm just wondering, is there like a residual? Anyway, apparently one of the symptoms is digestive situations, maybe even constipation, bloating, feeling swollen. I've been feeling more swollen than fat. I think it's hard, and weight gain, and also like hard to lose weight. So I'm not just gaining weight because I'm eating and it's making me gain weight, but I haven't stopped being on diet. I've been more diligent with my diet in the last 2 years. One of the years having fully been vegan and still gaining. I felt slim, but I was gaining weight on the scale consistently. And there's nothing more discouraging. But something in my personality, which I know it's a good thing, but sometimes it makes me wonder, am I the idiot here? Because I can't give up. I just cannot give up on anything. Like when it comes to like myself, and it's something that I'm working on. If it's like a relationship or a friendship, I'll cut that person like that, or whatever, bye-bye, because I have no control over the other party. But if it's something like losing weight, it's just me and the weight, oh, please, man, I will just keep going. I will try another way. That doesn't work. Try another method. That's why it just hits me so much more when I get on the scale and I'm up. And I weigh every day. Who in their right mind weighs themselves first thing every morning? Puts on weight more or less every day on the scale and consistently writes down everything they eat and still eats fattening food. Who would do that? I don't know of anybody who would do that. One of the first things I advise people who come to me about losing weight, oh, okay, Brooke, you're being full of yourself now, tooting your own horn. Like, why would people come to you for weight loss? Well, because I lost half of my weight, and of course I've gained some of it back, hence this conversation. But people will come to me, and one of the first things, actually, if not the first thing I tell them, is to weigh themselves once a week and write down everything they eat, every single thing, even the things that you just sampled. Somebody gives you one piece of candy, put that in there. It's the mindless things sometimes that add up. And you're like, I'm pretty sure I ate 1,200 calories. You add everything up and it turns out it's actually $1,699. And maybe your caloric quota for the day was 1,500, or whatever. So I tell people to do that because I know once you see the weight facing you back and you see what you're eating staring you in the eye, it does something psychologically to you whereby you find yourself fixing it, right? It's like being in a shitty relationship, toxic, whatever, and just keeping everything to yourself because it's so embarrassing. It's like, oh my gosh. And then one day talking to somebody about it, just the mere fact of hearing the words come out of your mouth, hearing the story back, it's like, whoa, this is shit. I need to get out of this. You know what I mean? Like a reality check. So yeah, like I never stopped writing down what I eat, never stopped weighing myself every day, and recently I haven't stopped putting on weight either, unfortunately. Like I would start a month at, for example, 500 pounds. I'm not 500 pounds, thank God, not even half. And then by the end of the month, I will fluctuate throughout the month, 500 and 498, and then somewhere in the month, 500, somewhere in the month, 496. Last day of the month, 500. So now we just maintained all month long. The following day, which is the first day of the next month, 505. And thus the cycle will continue up until the last day of the second month, where I'm going to be 505. So now I've just maintained that month. But there's that 5 pounds that I just gained overnight that didn't go away. You're thinking, oh, it's probably PMS, or I'm probably. It has been probably for 2 years now. Because I don't know what I didn't know what it was until just 7 days ago. My throat hurts and my voice is shot. And this happened when I had a flu in November. I may have recorded a podcast or two since then where I mentioned this. I had a flu when I was in South Africa, and one of my sisters said it could be because I'm not used to being around people, and now I'm around a lot of people. Like at the airport, it was like a 30-hour flight one way between airports, and the 6 to 8 hour layover to 2 countries, from the US to Turkey, from Turkey to South Africa, and then flying within South Africa 2 times, and just you're on vacation. So she said all that exposure to other people probably did something to me. Maybe my immune is not as strong as I thought it was. And also, one of my family members said being in the sky in an enclosed place for all those hours, just breathing the same air with all these people. Anyway, I got sick, and the coughing was the worst I ever coughed in my entire life. And I didn't think my throat recovered. But come on, really? It's March. It's literally 4 months. Oh, it's crazy that I was at home 4 months ago. It's 4 months since this happened. So, at what point does your throat come back, your vocal cords? And you must remember, you will not meet somebody whose vocal cords are more rested, because I don't talk to anybody. I am in the middle of nowhere by myself. Who the hell am I talking to? I don't take calls. I don't and maybe I'll talk to somebody on the phone for a couple of hours, and then I'll talk to somebody else in 2-3 weeks, maybe once a month I'll talk to somebody on the phone. It's not something that I do. I don't talk to people. So you would think that by now I would have recovered. One of the symptoms, according to the internet, is my throat. Just about everything that I suffered from, and my nails chipping. My nails will get strong for long enough that I have, sorry, it's cracking my knuckles. Oh, that felt good. My nails will be strong enough, and then they start peeling off, the top layer will come off, and obviously now they're weak, and then cut them off. My hair, if you follow me on social at Babala Brook, you'll see that I had dreadlocks for the longest time, and I cut them off. And then I had dreadlocks for the longest time, and I cut them off. And then I just had short hair, and then I had nothing, completely bald. That was from losing my hair. So apparently that's one of the symptoms. I won't bore you with, all the symptoms, but as I was saying earlier, I feel like the ones that are most impactful for me personally, as somebody who struggled with my weight all my life from my adolescence. What age is adolescence? Is that puberty? Why would it be called adolescence and puberty? Anyway, always, from being a teenager, literally when I hit 13, that's when everything I pretty much doubled. Probably not really, but felt that way. And then it was my life's struggles after that. And it's been such an important part of my life and I don't want to say my identity, but it's one of my things. And it's also something that I'm very good at because I have been on every diet, etc. And I thought that I found the solution, found the secret. And it's, in my opinion, all about calories. That's why when I restrict my calories for years in a row and don't lose weight, it boggles my mind because, I thought that was the secret. What the hell? Anyway, now we know why. So yeah, I just wanted not to spend. It's something that I don't want. Anyway, I didn't want to spend my golden years trying to lose weight. So when I reached my goal weight this time around, because I have before, I was like, okay, we're done. We're just going to monitor. So that's why I didn't stop weighing, didn't stop watching what I eat and all that. Because I just was not going to be overweight, obese, or any of that stuff ever again. I was not going to allow it. I tried not to. This has become just me venting about my weight loss, but I don't feel great right now, this moment. Yesterday was a great day. The day before that was great too. Yesterday I went to town. I ran errands until late in the afternoon. There was a time, several weeks to months recent, like this year specifically, where I would just be so tired and super not motivated to stay up. So I would, even if I'm not asleep, but I would be in bed from the earliest I remember looking at the time, and it was 10:40 in the morning when I went back to bed. Some people are not even out of bed for the first time that day. But I'm an early riser, thank God, because I don't know if I was somebody who woke up at 10:30, would I then have been up for only 10 minutes and then go back to bed? How does that work? So I would just plan a trip. Wouldn't it be nice to go to Vegas or whatever? It's only 4 hours drive from where I live to Vegas. It shouldn't be, but we don't have a straight line route, so we'll just circle around. But you could go to Vegas and come back in one day, but I'm not, not in a taxi. What am I doing? I did that when I was trucking. But you could go at least, and if you leave first thing in the morning, you can do something that day, that afternoon, go to bed early, wake up early the following day, have a nice time, and maybe leave not too late. I try to pace myself. I don't want to be too tired for anything. So, but I feel like the best thing to do is to spend 2 nights, but you could do 1 night. It's close enough that you could do that. I've not been to Vegas since I've moved here. I moved to the desert exactly a year ago, where I live with no one in the middle of nowhere. Don't worry and try to find me or anything, because by the time I post this, if I ever will, hopefully I'll be skinny, and hopefully I will not be living by myself. Maybe I won't even be living here. You don't know. So that's the number one shitty thing of this hypothyroidism for me: the weight, the lethargy, or fatigue. Because, and I guess it's the depression. I don't want to put that on the same line with my name, same sense as myself. But like the lack of motivation. If I do one thing that day, I tell you what, let me see, I don't want to make this too long. It would get to a point where I'm not somebody who likes to be busy, likes to work or whatever. No. But I'm driven and I get shit done, and I'm very practical. So I started noticing that I wasn't making my bed. I'm like, wow, it's been a while since I made my bed. And I'm like, what the hell? And then because it was also winter, I was like, maybe it's winter. Because of course that was before I was diagnosed. Maybe it's winter. Like, I'm not putting two and two together that my tiredness and my weight gain and my this and my that are all connected. I'm not putting all of that together. And it would take everything in me to go and take a bath. And the days that I would take a bath, hint, hint, I would would feel such a sense of achievement. And I'd just be like, let's get this over and done with. I even started thinking, should I get a shower curtain so they can be in and out? I love my baths. I took out the shower curtain that was here and I threw it away when I moved here. Well, obviously you have to do that. But I had no motivation. I could have just grabbed one from the Dollar Tree. I could have done that tomorrow, actually. I should put that in my list. I don't want one from the Dollar Tree, though. I don't want the ones that stick to you. I want one as a backup, but I like not even having it hang on the thing at all. Like, I don't need it there. That's one more thing to clean. Like, no. That's the practical part of my brain. Like, remove. I don't like to have like a lot of ornaments everywhere. Now, when you clean, you have to dust every single ornament and then underneath them and shine them. Like, if they're not there, you just wipe the surface and you're done. So I'd be like, wow, why am I not motivated to bath? And just, basic things. It was rough. So now, from day one of taking medication, I felt really good, especially in the afternoon. I couldn't say whether the medication worked that fast within one day, or it was me being so optimistic due to the diagnosis. Now I'm excited of things to come. I have a chance again of doing all the things that I love, of living my life and not sleeping my life away. Now I'm going to be able to this, that, and of course the other. So I don't know if it was that or it was actually the medication. Who knows? We'll never know. Then day 2, I felt just as good, especially in the afternoon. I tell you, I was dancing in the evening. I'm not even used to being awake that time, like to be out and about. By out and about, I mean being in the living room. I started moving things that were, when at home, there's like a thing, like a big, maybe piece of furniture or a thing that's sitting there and you're like, I need to move that. And then it's months and 6 months and still there. I started moving those kinds of things for the first time in like months since last year. Now at my place now, it looks even bigger because I moved like totes, those big plastic containers that were on top of, there were like 2 or 3 next to each other that I'd been meaning to move in one room to another room for like more than 6 months for sure. I finally moved them. And it was nothing because I thought I was just going to move them. Then I ended up fixing curtains. Then I ended up doing this, moving that. And the room was clearing up. I was like, whoa. Then the following day, I moved other things. Day before yesterday, I had so much. So anyway, back to my point. After the first 2 days of feeling great, 11 o'clock, I was back in bed. I was like, am I tired because this is how it's going to be? It's going to yo-yo. I'm going to be better some days and not other days? Or am I still tired, but I was just super excited mentally the first 2 days? Or did I overwork myself the first 2 days and now I feel better? Now I'm catching up because I overworked myself. We'll never know. I guess we could find out, but how I started taking medication exactly a week ago, like I said, on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, it was great. Friday, not so much. Wanted to go somewhere weekend, but I think it rained who knows. And then following day, I was great. Following day, not so much. Just like yo. But I'm grateful for the up days. And the up days, in the last 7 days, I've noticed that there's more of them and less of the down days. One day, I forced myself out of bed, but I was tired. So I went back to bed. Not too long after that, I just did like my morning routine, and then I went back to bed, and I was like, fuck it. And I hung out in bed. Also, I had this new thing of tingles. Some people who have hypothyroidism say that they have the tingles, but they mention, I don't know, face, but mostly feet and hands. For me, it's not feet or hands. It's my whole body. If anything, excluding hands and feet. From head to toe, just like tingly. It's not itchy, it's more tingly. And once that thing starts, it's triggered by certain foods. So that day I had eaten chicken breasts because, trying to be skin. Haha, so funny. Prove it. I don't know if it's a chicken. I hope it's not. But I think it's the spicy Creole sauce that I love. I actually recommended it on one of my YouTubes. If you check it. At Brook on YouTube. I made that chicken with that sauce, with that spice. And I think that I don't know, I think there's something in that spice because I know that some chili things don't like me. Like dill? No. What is it called? I always forget. Relish. But the spicy one, oh man. It put me down on Christmas and on New Year's Day because I bought it and I used it on both days to treat myself because it has, I don't know, whatever. And I noticed that it takes no less than 2 hours for the body to come down. And after that, I'm going to be exhausted, just ready to go to sleep. I know that tiredness that I feel after, the tingles which come after eating something that triggers them. Spinach doesn't like me all of a sudden. It'll give me the tingles, but maybe not to the point. Or maybe I eat more chicken than I do spinach. I don't know. These things, it's literally almost as soon as you put it in your mouth, no pun intended, or as soon as you swallow for the first time, again, no pun intended. It's not something that, 20 minutes after. No, ma'am, almost right away. So it's like an allergy. I don't know. I thought and still suspect that maybe there's more to what I have than just one condition. Maybe I have histamine intolerance. I don't know. But the symptoms are very similar. I was going to say the tiredness that I get from after the tingles, after that 2 hours, or within those 2 hours, is very akin to that I get when after I have this really painful pain under my rib cage that'll sometimes pierce through, to my back. I haven't had that. Well, I actually have had it recently once after I hadn't had it for forever. It's something that's prevalent to people who have IBS. Like basically it's gas. And I may have talked about it on this podcast. I feel like this is about health issues, whatever. That will lead me. Sometimes there will be nausea. And then if I end up throwing up, which is not something that my gag reflux is, it deserves its own podcast. And after that, the tiredness that you feel, especially after throwing up as a result of that whole discomfort, you will sleep so good. I don't care what time it is. Even if it's just a nap, it's that kind of tiredness. So I wonder, there's probably a correlation. But then again, IBS, a lot of IBS symptoms are very akin to some of the symptoms of hypothyroidism. What is this thyroid thing? Why does it have so many symptoms? Like, what the hell? It's in the neck. It's not in the brain. Or, anyway. So, weight, the lack of motivation, exhaustion, those are the three things for me, the three top symptoms. The tingles, itchiness, whatever. Like if I work out one day, it's very hard for me. By working out, I mean even just going for a walk for like a mile to 2 miles. It's very hard for me to work out again the following day. I'm not going to be exhausted and need to recover for a day to 2 days because, God forbid, you walk 2,000 to 5,000 steps. So, but I still would do it for like 3 to 4 times a week and regularly for at least 3 months, maybe 4 months, 5 months. No difference in the scale. I'm like, wow, this is one of the longest stretches of time that I've done some activity. And for me to still be gaining weight on top of my low calories is wild. So yeah, what time is it now? It's a good time to turn this off before I fart and you hear it, and that will be rude. I don't know what's rude, me telling you about it or me actually farting. Oh, excuse me. I think, what time is it? 3:30. So it's 3:30, and I think that I'm gonna go to sleep. Okay. And I wish I could just sleep until tomorrow, just so that I don't stay here and suffer feeling like shit. I just feel sad. And like there's so many things that I should be doing. Like I said, I have to make those appointments for the 4 different doctors, 5 actually, visits. I have to do my taxes. It's March. I have to maybe work on my store and make some money because I got thousands of bills due by the end of the month. And it would be nice to, what I'd been doing instead of going on trips, I think the alternative that I started acquiring a new hobby is sitting online and like planning a trip, seeing how long it would take me there, where would I stay, how much, and the flights and the whatever. I would spend like hours doing all of that, and I think that was my way of enjoying a trip, not vicariously, but like in a way, because I was just not going on these trips. So, yeah, it's kind of, it's all of it is sad. I do apologize for my downbeatness here, opposite of upbeat. But I hope that you gain something out of listening to this if you stuck around. And I'm glad that I was able to have this outlet to just sit and say whatever, get out of my system for 30 minutes. Now, I'm gonna have something to drink and shut my eyes. Maybe I'll play true crime in the background because that's a good way to lull yourself to sleep, is it not? It can't just be me. Thank you very much. At Baba Brooke on all social media, minus Facebook. And The Lovely Brooke is the name of my store. Baba Brooke is .com is my blog and my YouTube. Please message me, let me know what your experience has been, what your life pro tips are, or whatever you've heard, just can we start the discussion about this? Maybe I'll come back and do a future episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.